To the course, choosing chemical engineering as a professional career. And the course is divided in 6 sections. Section number 1 and 6 are just introduction and conclusion. Those are very small sections. The important sections are 2, 3, 4, and 5. All revolves in the chemical engineer profession. So what's engineering, the student life, the chemical engineering curriculum, what do we study, and eventually what's professional life. So let's start with a very brief introduction. We're going to cover what's engineering, the main goals, objectives. Oops. Then we cover engineering, general engineering, what's an engineer, some examples, what's a chemical engineer, what do they do, a comparison between the different professions we might have. For example, chemistry versus chemical engineering, mechanical engineer versus chemical engineering. Sometimes I even get what's the difference between a doctor and a chemical engineer, what do I recommend you, etc. And of course, in order to get you motivated, I choose to show you salaries first so you get motivated. The different salaries compared versus other engineering, the oil and gas salaries by companies, by countries, and comparison with other engineerings. So let's get back. Now that was section number 2, the basis of engineering, what's an engineer. Now, what's the student life? What is the difference between studying, I don't know, maybe a arts bachelor or an engineering bachelor? Well, we're going to start with how to apply, what do you need to check out, starting dates, cost, financing, some facilities. Maybe you want to verify the campus has plenty of maybe outdoor activities, extracurricular stuff, maybe the computer and IT and so on. Then we continue with the structure of how are you going to have your daily life as a student, what do you do, labs, going to parties, etc. I would recommend you to get an exchange program if possible, and we're going to see how to get an internship. Then after student life, we go to the chemical engineering curriculum. So if you are wondering what do we study in chemical engineering, here is the core area. So I divided into 4 main concepts: general engineering, which is essentially all the sciences, math, chemistries, computer, and maybe accounting, finances, etc. Now the theoretical basis, of course, you need to start with some engineering basis, mass balances, etc. Then you continue with unit operations, which I will say this is the medium intermediate level. We start understanding unit operations such as pumps, maybe heat exchangers. Also, we get to study reactions, how to work with them, design reactors, etc. And of course, labs. What type of labs do we use, etc. Oops. Wait for it. Yeah. Also, we learned finally, after the 3 main blocks, we continue with plant design and engineering operations. So a little bit on process simulation, plant design, automation, controlling, plant economics, and typically everyone will work on a final plant project. So let's say a project that covers all what you have been learning. Then we study section number 5, which is professional life. What type of industries can you work on? Here are some. The type of companies in which you can work, how much they are worth it, how in revenue, the areas, what can you work on inside a company, what type of job positions can you have, and I have 4 examples. As a chemical engineer, where can you work? Then we continue how to apply for a job, some recommendations, and finally a very important part of life, which is work and life balance. Finally, we make a conclusion, and hopefully by the end of the course you will know what's chemical engineering and whether or not if this is for you or maybe not. So hopefully you enjoy this course structure. It's very easily 6 sections, each one has relevant topics. What I will definitely recommend you are the section number 2 and 4. if you are wondering what's chemical engineering. But overall, this will give you an overview on chemical engineering.